2, you won't soon forget.
Yeah.
Well, Jeff, welcome back to season 2 of Club Barnett.
Yes, Frank, we've returned.
I wanted to ask you before we get started, what do the shows Friends, Seinfeld, Everyone Loves Raymond, and Family Guy all have in common?
Great opening song.
Well, that's true. But what I'm thinking is each one of those shows was almost canceled.
Oh,
They were slow burners.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So here we are for season 2. No, we were not canceled. We're back for more.
No, but then the network did send that nasty letter.
You know what? I lit a cigarette with that one. I did not, and I don't even smoke. So I didn't read the whole thing.
Well, we weren't canceled. We're back for season 2.
There you go.
And bigger and better.
Bigger and better. Yes. And that's all because of Ronnie Barnett.
Of course.
Yeah. The whole reason why we're here. So
it's not called Club Frank and Jeff.
No. Then I would have, my wife as a fan and maybe yours as a fan, and we'd have to pay them probably to watch the show.
Exactly. Probably have to take them out for an extra date night at least.
Yep, absolutely. Well, I tell you what, we've got a lot of neat things coming this season.
Yes.
And we'll break it down. But I wanted to ask you real quickly, one of our listeners, his name's Mike, he actually emailed me and he asked me after we had recorded our session with Ronnie, but he had asked about a Muffs documentary that he had heard about a while ago and if there was any changes to it. So I reached out to Ronnie and I asked him. And basically, Ronnie said, 6 or 7 years ago, there was a guy working on one and kind of life got in the way and it fell by the wayside. So didn't you go to film school? Aren't you a graduate of?
Oh, no.
Oh.
No.
I could have swore that you had some kind of expertise, and I've seen some of your videos. Excellent stuff. So I thought maybe you had a degree in that field, and maybe we could pick that up.
No. It was a desire at one point, but then kids started popping out somehow. I don't know how it happened. I was in the room like most of the time it happened, or at least one time that happened.
It's a mystery.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about episode 1, season 2.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about what we got coming on this episode?
Yeah, so I thought this was a good way to start season 2 because Ronnie talks to us about the early days of the Muffs, which is fascinating to hear. And as always, Ronnie's got great stories. So
yes,
it's great to hear. We were asking Ronnie about the band starting up, and of course, we get to hear some great things about that. And then we end with a new idea that you had for season 2.
Yes.
Tell the club members about that.
Well, what I wanted to do is each episode, as we end it out, I wanted to get Ronnie's thoughts and ideas about different individuals in the music business, maybe people that he's interacted with and whatnot. Just quick thoughts.
Yeah, great idea.
What came to mind was the old Saturday night skit of Jack Handy. I don't know why that popped in my head, but I thought, let's ask Ronnie, give us his most intimate thoughts on these individuals. So each episode we'll have we'll just throw a name out to him. And in this first episode, should we spoil it or should we just let it roll naturally?
Maybe let's let it roll.
Yeah. Very good.
Yeah. And but we should give a little hint that maybe the hint will be with COVID, make sure you wash your hands because you don't want any germs spreading.
There you go. That's very good. We don't like those germs.
No. Well, does Ronnie?
We'll find out. All right. Well, let's take it away.
Yeah, I'm actually proud of this fact because we formed our band in late 1990, and practiced for a few months, played our first gig late January of 91. And, you know, at that point, the, the, the Pandoras had lost their audience. So, you know, they went heavy metal and they didn't retain their old audience, and they didn't gain a heavy metal audience. And, you know, that's all well documented and stuff. But, so, you know, we were a band of two ex-Pandoras that were picking up different instruments than people knew them for, with one of their boyfriends in the band. And basically a lot of the things like Kim had they had signed a publishing deal onto the Pandora's publishing deal with Warner Chappell, the other members, even though Paula and the Pandoras wrote all the songs. So Kim, when we formed our band, Kim got in touch with Warner Chappell and was like, hey, I got these songs, I got this new band. And they said, well, send us a letter saying you've quit the band and you have a new band, and we'll get back to you. And she did that, and basically we've never heard from them again. They swept her under the rug and didn't follow up. And so when we formed our band, we besides having a lot of friends that maybe got us some gigs, we didn't have any business people. Nothing. We just started playing, and we started playing, and that led to just instantly playing a lot. Like we did that first gig, we had two more gigs the next week. So we did the Shamrock here in Hollywood, and we did the Gaslight in Hollywood, these are old clubs that aren't around anymore. And we did Club Lingerie. And we were opening for the same band, a psychobilly band called Terror Train, that Chris, our drummer, was roommates with a member of. He was roommates with a guy, the bass player, who called himself Slash. And he called himself Slash in 1991. Okay, I'll just leave that there. Anyway,
Wow.
So that led to those clubs wanting to rebook us immediately. You know, we're opening on these shows. So cut to literally 9 months later, and at this point we'd recorded our first two 7-inches, but Warner Brothers, Dave Katznelson, an A&R guy at Warner Brothers, saw us at the Coconut Teaser. He was there to see a band called Trash Can School, but he walked away wanting to sign the Muffs. So we had a meeting with him, and again, we didn't have any. We were doing this all ourselves. We didn't have anything on tape. We didn't have a demo. So besides these singles we made, so we had this meeting with him. We went to an expensive dinner, and we signed to a demo deal since we didn't have anything on tape. So basically, a demo deal means they put you in the studio, you make a demo professionally recorded, and then they decide if they're going to sign you or not. So we did that, and we signed to Warner Brothers, and this is all within a year. And so all of a sudden, business people start sniffing around. So Warner Chappell reared their head. Oh, wait, we have you signed, Kim Shattuck. And that kind of sucks, but they owned her songs on that first record because of this deal she'd signed in the Pandoras, which they didn't give a shit about her, you know, until stuff started happening with us. So, yeah, that's it. So that's kind of cool. So we little did a lot of people know we were signed to Warner Brothers when we got the offer to do the Sub Pop single. Well, Warner Brothers knew that was a good thing for us to do as a band, building our reputation. So we did the Sub Pop single, but we're actually signed to Warner Brothers. And also during that time, this is all there's a lot of good stories about this period before the first record, but they're trying to decide, did I tell the Madonna story on the first season? I'm sorry, I keep doing this.
We spoke about his
okay.
her
So
manager.
that kind of happened. Yeah.
Yep.
The Madonna thing, and her manager Freddie DeMann was checking us out, and we had a meeting with Ian Copeland, Miles Copeland and Stuart Copeland's brother, who booked bands
on
at his house
alone.
Yeah. No, exactly. Yeah, we had a meeting with him at his house. We had different managers. This guy from the Grassroots, Warren Entner, who'd managed a lot of big acts. He wanted to manage us. It's funny too. While we were signing, Tom Zutaut came to see us at the Palace, and from Geffen, and who signed Guns N' Roses, and so it's just crazy to think of all that happening, especially me as a fan. Like, it was just incredible to me. I mean, just just a year earlier, I remember reading about like say Life, Sex and Death signing to Warner Brothers, and that seemed so cool and so lofty to me. And just all of a sudden we're right there with them. So
It's very
yeah, I'm proud
impressive.
of all that. It was a
Yeah.
natural ascent, and it was not because some lawyer pushed us and had a meeting with his buddy, you know,
Right.
to push us to sign to the label. So that said, that it was all in the timing too. This was right post Nirvana hitting and grunge, if you will, getting big, and labels wanted some grungy bands, and we had songs underneath all that fuzzy grunginess. So
Right.
it translated. Yeah.
And you never had anybody breathing down your neck telling you you have to do this song or you have to do this song on a record, because it seems like this was Kim's deal. She wrote the music and the songs, right?
Well, yeah, we were. I mean, she wrote the music and the songs, but we were a band on a lot of this stuff, and but yeah, if you listen to our first record, you can tell they weren't telling us what to do. It's got an Angry Samoans cover on there. It's got a dumb little instrumental that I wrote by that's a I used to play that at practice when I was bored because everybody's talking.
Right.
Not that I didn't do my share of talking, as you guys can probably guess, but Muffs practices are more talking than playing. Yeah,
Yep.
which is part of the fun of it. But yeah, and there's songs that maybe shouldn't be on there, but it's everything we recorded and it all made the record. It's crazy to me in retrospect. I take that Angry Simone song doesn't belong on there, but it is what it is. It's history. But yeah, no, to our credit, and maybe it worked against us as far as people working our records and having maybe more success commercially. I mean, they let us do what we wanted. We didn't have. There's none of those stories about us turning in a record or demos and them saying we don't hear a hit.
Right.
It was more of like, what are we going to pick as a single?
Right.
So for better or worse, they are what they are. But that means that the records, for the most part, besides parts of that first record, are don't sound of their time. They hold up, and they I don't want to use a term as lofty as timeless, but maybe they're kind of timeless.
They do stand the test of time, that's for sure, because you
Yeah.
can put on any of the Muffs records at any given time, and it sounds like this could have been written and recorded today.
Agreed. Yeah.
It's all about the strong songs.
Yes.
I was never under any illusion that the reason we stuck around was not because of the material. And we were a good act too, but
Right.
you know what I mean? Like, it's those songs, and people still discover those songs. It's great in the group. Like, people will post. It just happened. I just discovered your band, and it's wonderful, and
Right.
and that'll happen forevermore. Not in maybe huge numbers, but there's still action.
Well, as we were just talking about that recent 2 video compilation from Japan is a testament to that.
Yeah, and there's a Netflix movie that Amy Poehler, if I'm pronouncing her name correctly, directed, called Moxie, and that this group and these girls have been, their parents were fans of the Muffs, so they grew up being Muffs fans, but they're called the Linda Lindas, and they cover our song, Big Mouth, and they cover Bikini Kill, Rebel Girl in this movie, and it's wonderful.
That's neat.
Yeah, it goes to show the legacy of the band, and another example of the band's legacy.
Yeah, I like that things still happen every now and then.
Right.
So, and I could wake up any morning and somebody might want a song for another movie or a commercial or something. It could happen, you guys.
That's for sure.
Darby, well, of course, as you guys know, I didn't grow up here, so I wasn't here during the Germs heyday, but I love the Germs. I came to appreciate them a little later. The Germs don't sound like anybody else. I know you guys have heard them. I mean, those songs are not based on traditional rock structure, songwriting structure, or anything. So it took me a while to get it. But I finally kind of got it actually when I was in White Flag, and I had to play the song Manimal, and we even recorded that for a Germs tribute. And I finally got it. I'm like, this is brilliant. Like this is original, and it shouldn't make sense. I'm sure it doesn't make sense to some people,
Right.
but yeah, I'm a fan, and too bad Darby didn't hang around, to see all this. And as you guys probably know, Darby killed himself the day before John Lennon got shot. So when
Was a
that
shadow.
happened, nobody was talking about Darby Crash.
Right.
Not that he was a major figure or known like he is now, but definitely nobody was talking about the death of Darby Crash after John Lennon died.
Right.
So yeah, I'm a fan. In fact, I have a Germs poster in my stack to get framed over there next to my Kiss Poker poster. Those are next in line
Love
to
it.
get framed. So